Good morning and welcome to this weekly market update from MRC Markets. Today is the 11th of April 2013. What we'll do today is go through some technical analysis on Euro dollar, cable, dollar, Swiss dollar, yen, Aussie dollar and gold. We'll not make any trade calls or recommendations in this video. You trade at your own risk. If you could please read our full disclaimer on our website www.mrcmarkets.com. We have 3 moving averages in each of these charts. The red one is a 50 simple moving average. The purple is a 100 simple moving average, and the gold is a 200 simple moving average. Yeah, so basically just going to review what's been going on in the markets and look at any sort of setups that I'm looking at on my charts, and hopefully it will be of some use. Okay then, let's have a look at the euro dollar. So this is the... Let's have a quick look at the weekly chart actually, in terms of sort of perspective. We have, so if you draw a fib there from highs to lows, you can see we're in some sort of, well, let's get rid of this 78.6. We normally just focus on the 50 and 61.8 in terms of a sort of retracement zone. Okay, so if you draw the first fib I'd look at is from highs to lows here. We've come up and we've started to sell off in this sort of 50% 61.8 range, and we're coming down. So that's one setup that's technically in play. Then you've also got the buyers, which are counteracting that setup at the similar sort of 50 to 61.8% range. It's interesting that it's not spiking off of the 50% to the pip and it's closed below, but I mean, a lot of traders will trade off the 50% and put stops behind the 61.8%, for example, and that's what's been going on really in terms of the weekly. I mean, we have this 55-week moving average here as well, which is this 50, not 55, sorry, this 50-week moving average, which is around this level as well. So it's acting as support, and it kind of looks like it just wants to come up and test this 100-week moving average really. So that's the weekly chart. Let's not dwell too much on that. Let's look at the shorter term ones, for example the daily. So yeah, I mean, we'll draw that fib up again so you can see a little bit clearer. So that's the, I mean, if you just look at this daily chart, the low of the daily chart to the high, I mean, let's keep it simple. As it's always good to look at things that just come straight to the eye, in my opinion. That is the fib to look at, to be honest with you. I mean, a lot of people would have been looking at this previous swing from that low there to the highs there. That hasn't really played out. So yeah, that's the big one. But also the next one that a lot of people focus on, that's what I'm focusing on as well, is this one here, from highs to the lows. The 50% comes at around 1.3228. I do actually think the 38.2 is quite interesting on this one. I'll just add it for a sec. And I posted this on Twitter actually. We have this 38.2%, which is a previous resistance. If you look that way, I'm hovering the cursor over there, previous resistance there, and it's also come to this this level as well, and it formed a sort of daily reversal, not an amazing daily reversal because it hasn't closed below the 55-day moving average. But we do also have the 100-day moving average above it, but still it is quite a reversal pattern, and it stopped the rot with the in terms of posting green candles. We had what, 1, 2, 3, 4. We had that 6th one there. So we had 6 green candles in a row, and we finally got a red one yesterday. So a lot of people wouldn't be surprised will be in this this short, with probably stops behind the 50%, for example, trying to target this 0% line. And it's also interesting if I just quickly flip to the dollar Swiss chart, because we've been saying for a while now that these charts have been mirroring. So we've got on that euro dollar, we've drawn it from the recent high to low, and we've got a bounce. And if you look at this one here on dollar Swiss, from lows to highs, we also have it testing 100-day moving average, slight reversal candle as well. So some interesting sort of mirror reflection of the chart here. Yes, on the euro dollar it's gone down to 38.2, and on the dollar Swiss it's down at the 50%, but still it's testing a key level at the same time, and also posted similar candles. So on the euro dollar we had a reversal, and on the dollar Swiss we had a reversal as well, but a support reversal. So yeah, interesting technicals, and that's all I'm really focused on. The other thing for the shorter term players, if you so let's delete that fib. In terms of the shorter term players, let's flip it to the 4 hour. A lot of people will be focusing on this fib here from the lows to the highs. So what happens if we come down to this 50% zone at 1.2933? But it's been quite choppy these last few days, really. Not amazing action, just been, I mean, it's gone up a bit, yes, and it's sort of come down yesterday, but nothing too exciting. Wouldn't be surprised to see today, to see some sort of big move, really. It's been due a decent moves. That has been quite choppy, but that's what I'm focused on the euro dollar chart. In terms of cable, the daily chart we've spoken about many times before. All I really care about is what happens if we come up here. It's looked like it's been due a nice retracement. It's been trickling up, retracing, and it looks like it wants to come towards this 50% zone. I wouldn't be surprised if it came towards that. I mean, we're above the 50-day moving average now. It looks like it wants to come up and test this 100-day moving average or the 50%. So be interested to see what happens there. But that's all I'm really focused on the daily chart, to be honest with you. The 4 hour ones, I think, is much interesting. We spoke about this, I think, in the last week video. This fib set up here from lows to highs. It was a previous support. If you look to your left here, we had a key spike there. That was when we had the UK budget out, so it was getting quite volatile. And it formed a lovely double top there at the same level, and we've rotated higher. Also, actually, if you add the Fibonacci extension level to this, so I'm going to put the minus 23.6, and I'll call it 123.6% extension. You can see that's where we're getting capped at the minute as well. So that's at the 1.5361 level. But also, I mean, as that move's technically been completed, in my opinion. So what a lot of people do is they extend their low to where it got bought off at the 50%, and then bring it to the high. And if you add your 38.2 on this, I mean, I personally prefer the bounce off the 50%. But if you add your 38.2 there, you can see, bam, we bounced off the 38.2 level to the pip, and we're starting to rotate higher now. Wouldn't be surprised to see that 0% get taken out, and then maybe it will come up and test the 123.6. But also, it hasn't been a real aggressive move high. It's been, I mean, especially the last couple of days, it's been going sideways a bit. But it does look like it wants to start to move now. The current 4 hour candle's looking quite bullish indeed. So I wouldn't be surprised to see those highs get taken out. But that's what I've been looking at personally on this on the cable chart. I think it's been very technical indeed. So yeah, dollar Swiss is all about this fib, really. As I spoke to you a second ago, we've got a nice 50% and 100-day moving average confluence level here. We posted this up on the Twitter feed, and it already had a nice reaction, pretty much to the pip there. I mean, the 50% is at 0.9244, 92.94. So we already had a nice reaction to that. Today's looking a little bit heavy already. But no, I mean, that's obviously a longer term setup, that really, and that's really all I'm focused on this 4 hour chart. We can see it much clearer there. You also, if you look to your bottom left here, we actually this 61.8 is actually a previous support to the pip, so maybe it wants to come back down and test this 61.8 and form some sort of double bottom here. That could be quite interesting to see. But in fact, the other thing we do have, if you want to look at the bigger fib on this daily chart, so if you draw from the high of the daily chart to the low, you can see also we're getting sold off here between this 50% and 61.8% zone, and that was also a previous resistance there as well. If you look to there where I'm hovering the cursor over, so maybe it does want to come back down and test this 0%. You never know, but that's what it's really all about on dollar Swiss, in my opinion. Dollar yen has really just been ripping higher. Nothing massively of interest on this chart, obviously, unless it starts to retrace. When we spoke about this in the last video, I think this move here, the fib from lows to highs, it started to get support at the 50%. Let's get rid of that 30.2. It started to get supported at the 50% level with that 50-day moving average. But it was a strange one, really, because it didn't really get that much momentum, and it waited to come down a bit towards the 61.8 level, and then we got the bank of Japan easing, and that really weakened the yen, and we've just been ripping higher ever since. I mean, we're just short of the 100 handle at the minute, so I wouldn't be surprised to see that get taken out at all, really. But no, in terms, it's just been absolutely ripping higher. The next fib that I'd personally be looking at is if we let's say it does start to top out here, which is unlikely, then I'd be drawing it from that swing low there, because that's where we got bought up from last time, from that previous one. So just extend the fib, and that's the one I'll be looking at if we do start to get some sort of retracement. Aussie dollar's been an interesting chart, and it has been, yes, it has been quite choppy on this daily chart. The weekly is a bit clearer, but the move that's already happened this week, I think I posted this on Twitter. I mean, I was personally looking for a retracement down to 50%, as that's my favourite level. But if you add the 38.2 to this, then you can see we got bought off of that pretty much to the pip at the 1.0350s, and we really are just rotating higher now off of that. It's already broken the 0%. It looks like it wants to come up and test a 123.6% extension, which also coincides with these highs up here. So that'd be a really interesting level there. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see it hold, but then again, if it does break, it really could fly up. There really is a lot of strength there in this Aussie dollar at the minute. Very technical chart, and that move there is just an absolute textbook sort of fib setup there. Just lows to highs, retraces down 32%, rotates higher. Yeah, really nice move there. That's all the currency's done. Let's have a look at everyone's favourite pair, gold. Really boring chart, gold. It used to be such a good chart, but it's just been, I mean, unless you're short, of course, and just playing off the trend line, that's the only thing I'm really focused about. It's just been quite choppy, not really clean price action. And it's been held at the 50% level. Really, it's also about just selling any of the bounces, in my opinion, just waiting for it to come up to the trend line. But obviously, recently it hasn't come up to the trend line in the last sort of few weeks. But no, nothing much of interest. If you flip it to the weekly, nothing major of interest. To 4 hour, it's just been quite choppy, really. No sort of clear action. I mean, it's been playing quite well off the moving averages. Really had a nice sell-off there, the 50 bar moving average, but it has been quite a choppy chart, so nothing majorly to update on that, really, to be honest with you, on that gold chart. Okay, that's all for today. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'll post this up on YouTube and on the Twitter feed. If there's any other pairs that you want to have a look at next week, then feel free to comment under the YouTube video. Also, just give us a tweet, which is at MRC_markets. Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed that. Have a great rest of the week trading. Thank you.